Psychic Sleuth, and I'm going to be doing the third reading on Maleah Davis. First of all, I want to address some stupid comments that I've had on my page, how people want every single thing that happened. It doesn't work like that. If it worked like that, there would be more cases solved. We can only give what we get. Also, when it comes to a child being murdered, there's only so much I can handle. So I don't really like seeing those kind of things. So I'll get the idea of it when it comes to that, but I won't see every little thing. Plus, that's not really what's important. It's not what's important how she passed or how she was killed or any of that. What's important is who's involved and where she is. So that's where the focus lies. So I'll do my videos the way I want to do them. You don't have to like, you don't have to watch. You can go somewhere else. I've been told that I do give a lot of details. So it's going to go on a base by base. Some spirits are more direct, some are not. I also need to remind you guys that they will talk about places passed on the way, places that are around the area, places that are searched or have been searched. That's why it gets a little confusing. Sometimes it is like a puzzle. The way that my gifts work, I can't just point to a map and say she's right here. Actually, my gifts don't work very well on a map. I get very overwhelmed. Sometimes I feel a pull to a certain way, and that's getting stronger, but that's one thing that I'm still trying to build upon. So I'm just like you guys, I'm trying to put it together. That's how my stuff works. Everybody's different. Everybody works differently. Um, I don't care if I'm giving you the same information that another psychic medium is giving you. Think about it. That means it's right. If we're all getting the same thing, that means it's right. We can only give it what she's giving us or what our guides are giving us. We can't give any more than that. So just appreciate the information that we're giving. We're putting hours and hours and hours into this, and we're doing this for free. And just to find this little girl, you guys don't understand how draining it is. The stuff that we see, I don't think of it as a curse. I think of it as a blessing. Some people might think of it as a curse. I don't. But there are some things that are really hard for me. Okay, especially when it comes to children and animals. So, um, again, I can only give what I get. And no psychic is going to be able to tell you this whole story of everything that happens. There's still going to be questions. So, I'm doing the best that I can. We're trying to communicate with the 4-year-old, although she has an old soul who's trying to describe where she is. Now, a lot of times, depending on what happened and everything, they have a hard time describing where they are. I've seen that if you watch any of the psychic detective shows or actually Sensing Murder, if you've ever seen that show, they describe it perfectly and explain it that sometimes they aren't able to describe exactly where they are. They're only able to, like, I don't know how she described it, but she was able to describe it very well as the fact that not all spirits can describe it the same way. They try to describe where they are. Sometimes they don't even know. So it's all just going to depend. I'm doing what I can. And if you're going to leave nasty comments and be rude, then you guys can just go to another channel. Because I'm very good at what I do. And I say that humbly. I say that because of what I've seen. And sometimes my readings can be confusing. Shit, they're confusing to me. But that's not my fault. So, doing the best that I can here. And a little respect and a little appreciation would be a lot better than a bunch of crap. This is not about me. This is not about you. This is about this little girl. It's about how about we put the puzzle pieces together instead of complaining about the video and complaining about the information coming out. And I will be easy when I talk about this because it's a little girl being having things done to her. So I will be as gentle as I can. And if you like to watch horror and do all that, you can go do that somewhere else. That's not what this is about. What's important is where she is, not what happened to her in that way. And I'm more sensitive than you. So, also, a lot of people said, oh, well, she was a real psychic. This information would come out before. I'm sorry. Again, I state, I don't watch the news. Too sensitive for it. The only way I find out information is if my team sends it to me. I did do the readings prior to any of that information being released, by the way. And things are sent to me. I don't even read the news articles because I don't want it to control what I get or feel like I'm being led in any way. I don't watch other psychics because I don't feel like I want to be led by anything they're saying. So I'm in my own little world. I do my own little thing, and that's the way it goes. So I did this reading on May 17th. A little confusing. Um, like I said, they will explain things around the area, things on the way, things that are searched, that will be searched, places he thought of. That's where it gets a little confusing, but that is things that comes through because I do get a lot at one time. So when I first saw her, I thought, ah, precious girl. This was weird, but I heard mommy hit me. Never said mommy was innocent. I think they're both involved. Had somebody else comment on my page about that. I never said it was fully just him, but I can only give what I'm getting at the time. That's what I was getting. But I do feel that it's a mutual thing. I feel that they're both involved in some way. So I do feel that she was abusive to her daughter because she said, mommy hit me, and I heard it loud and clear. So I don't know if this was the same day or not that it happened, but I did hear it. And it was loud and clear. And I went, ah, what the heck? So like I said, I feel she's guilty in many ways. I seen sexual abuse again. Every time I connect to her, it brought emotional trauma to her. I'm like, where are you? Because I started asking her questions. And she said, at the beach. She took me to a map and took me towards the beach, like I'm up above looking at the map. She says, you have it right. Then again, she said Seabrook. Now, Seabrook could just be a neighboring county or whatever. I don't know why she showed me a cup of coffee. Could be symbolic for a coffee area, a coffee place in the area. Seriously, I have not figured out how to put off that notification. I said, but why so? I said, are you sure? That's Are you sure that's far? She says, yes, he had time. I said, but why so far? She says, he knew no one would look for me there. And sadly, I don't know if I can be found. She shows me tears in her eyes. Her life was torment for a long time. I see a lot of yelling, felt like she could never do right. There's a sense of jealousy with the mom. She shows me uh, pink and polka dots, and she clings to this white teddy bear and says, thank you for the bears and love. She says, it reminds you of Florida, doesn't it? The area she's at. I'm like, yep. And she shows me boats and sailing. She shows me waves. She says, not the ocean, but not the ocean. Sorry, guys. I don't know how to shut it off. I've tried. Not the ocean close by, though. Shows me green, like green in the water, and I see a dirt road, and there are houses close but not on the water, and I see smoke stacks. I get the smell of restaurants. I hear hollow. I hear the word crystal, hollow. She shows me like a shadow too, kind of weird. She says marshy. I see rocks, and I see like where the water pours out from not a dam but like a small I'll show you a picture because I ended up drawing it. But the water goes from a littler space to a bigger space. She shows me stars, moon, and a spaceship. I'm like, oh, why all the other places? She says, because some are thought, some are, what was past. I already explained that. Um, I don't know if she's in One Piece. Honestly, I don't know that. I haven't seen that she isn't, but she could be just that she doesn't want to show me that. Um, she did show me her arm was burnt, so I don't know if it was another time or if it was this one. She showed me lots of blood. Uh, I got the smell of bleach, and I saw a cop with like showing the light that they do for bleach, and it was or for blood, sorry, and it was showing up. And I don't know why I saw a knife. I could be symbolic for her life cut short. Um, but I did see a knife. I hadn't seen that before. And I honestly got a reference to it. Um, and I kind of honestly don't want to see. Okay. I felt very faint in a way. Uh, whether he used it or, like I said, it's not clear, but there's blood dripping from it. Again, takes me back to the beach, sandcastles, sailboats, word canal, bayou. Also shows me a blue dolphin. I see a starfish, a reference to seashells. She says aquarium. I'm shown a rocky area, and I'm shown like he has her in a trash bag, and I've seen this for days now. And I see him picking up rocks from the area and putting them in the bag, like heavy rocks. Tie it together and just drop her in. He watches her as she falls to the bottom. I also see him wipe his hands together like no biggie, out of my life, like done. And I see him fall as he tries to leave because it looks like the rocks are a bit slippery. I don't know, it's like there's slope to these rocks and it goes down and it's close to a bridge. Like it goes over the water. Now it not a well-traveled road and I see lots of trees. I'm told word spirit. I'm told the word rose. And there's a reference to an island. And she says 50, 51, 52, like counting. Hearing the word bay shows me stars again. She says she shows me these peoples as devils. Grim reapers is how she referred to them as symbolically. That's what she portrayed them as. Monsters. Notice how I say these people. I saw both portrayed that way. I don't know if the boyfriend was into drugs, could be just weed, but I saw some type of it could be prescription as well, but some type of medication or drugs. Word Harriet, then I was told Harriet Tubman, reminds me of Underground Railroads, so it could be some symbolic or a name or museum or something like that. She keeps trying to take me back to what happened, but it's a blur, and then I'm shown a lot of violence, makes me sick, I just don't want to see it too much, sorry. Shows me balloons in a gathering, people she must be thankful someone finally cares, because it seems to mean a lot to her that people are banding together for her, because she showed this multiple times. I see a pile of stuffed animals. I know that's came through before, and I know that it's out there, but it's what she shows it came to me. I don't know if there's a candlelight vigil, or there will be, but that was also something that was shown. I saw candles being lit up, unless people are just lighting them for her, singing about bring our baby home. She's become Texas's sweetheart. She's thankful for people caring so much that she never really had that in her home. She makes me smell beach air. I hear seagulls. She says they will never expand this far. She says it seems unbelievable. But he's not dumb as he seems about some things. Also, there is a way to take her back to the places she loved. I don't know, kind of like a remorse about it, I guess. Hearing words he had time. Seeing runway and lights again. A beach ball, number 421. I don't know if they're in together, separate, or in the right order or not. That's come through before, a few months ago. And also, I've noticed that a lot of stuff in this area that I'm looking at is back in Cheryl's readings, which she was helping. And also, if you guys don't know how my gifts work, I do get future information prior in other readings. So, hearing not close to home, far, far away. She shows me alligators and those birds with long beaks. Also see sea turtles and sharks and pelicans. I hear seals, and I hear word fairy, and I'm not sure where I hear dump site, if there's an area like that nearby. I see water tanks, but those tall towers are one that's tall and white. Hearing word passionate, not sure if this is symbolic or if she did this, but she's blowing bubbles with bubble gum. She shows me oysters, and it's open with a pearl inside. The pearl looks to have a pink sort of color to it. Hearing word sea salt. I can hear all the sounds of the beaches and the cars. Hear word Galveston. Hear word beach. She's like taking me all over this area like I'm looking at a map again. Hear strawberry fields. That song, Yellow Rose of Texas. Now, I don't know if this is, there's some symbolic meaning, or you guys are thinking of her like this, because actually the song is about looking for someone. Her word, snapping turtles, color red. I think she's been giving areas that also been searched or will be searched, because go back to the pumpkins. Charles came in Kenny, so that's interesting. It came at the end of that reading, and I guess her grandma took her to Lake Charles, or was going to take her to Lake Charles, excuse me. My body feels weird when I connect to her. I don't know why, but they're in a random auto write. I got bathtub. I'm thinking this could connect here, because she was showing me her place in a bathtub and washed off. I see arguing between mom and stepdad. I see lights, like when you're driving at night and you're near a city. So reference to night or starting to get dark. Here word space station. I know we talked about this, but she said it. Here word jellyfish. I keep asking her if she's sure. It seems a long way. She says yes. I also see certain things that have been taken out, been evidence taken and dumped not far from where she is. Maybe I don't know how. No, I don't know how far. I really can't tell. She shows me some of her clothes and whatnot. I kept asking her, "Are you sure?" She kept saying yes. I'm sure she's tired of me asking, but it just seems kind of unreal. So she shows me those towers with lights in them that the planes use so they don't run into them or fly too low with the red blinking lights. Um, and she talked about a university, and I heard alma mater, red and blue. Falcons. She showed me my old high school for that, and it was Falcons. Colored silver. I can hear boat horns and word Alamo. Now, I want to show you guys real quick. Let me see. So, this, see if you can see it. It's not really coming in, is it? Hold on one second. Really hard to tell, okay? So, this is what I saw, and if you're in part of the Psychic Sleuth group, you can actually see this. And there we have an area that kind of matches what I saw, and there's an island next to it. If you see these little things right here that separate the water, that's what I was talking about. And there's you know, I don't know if it was symbolic, but I know it's rocky on both sides. And there is, and you can see like how it's hard to tell in this picture. The bigger water goes into the you know, smaller water goes into the bigger water. And then there's a bridge right here. So I don't know if that's just means it's close by or whatever, because where we found doesn't really have that bridge, but it could just be close by. So or maybe we have the wrong spot. But the interesting thing about the spot that we found is Bay has come through before, and it is in Bay. I can't remember that spot. It's called Bay something. It's next to Seabrook, and there's a waste management place right there. So that reminded me of the dump site. It's also connects to an island with uh, a red barn, which is kind of weird because the red barn came up in Kenny's. And there's some other stuff, like I said, that connect from earlier readings that look like they could fit hers because they don't really fit that. But sometimes, like I tell you, things can fit multiple cases. It's kind of weird like that, how they interconnect. But anyways, it does look exactly like my picture. So if you're part of that group, you can join in there. I'm not sure if I'm going to be doing any more readings on Maleah. I do have tons of other cases to work on. I mean, I do want the baby found, but as she told me, I feel that it's going to be very hard to find her because she's in water weighted down. There are many things in that water and the current and whatnot. So that's the only thing. He kind of knew what he was doing when he put her where he put her, because they all knew that, you know, if they didn't find her, they weren't going to have much of a case. So they can still build a case, I guess, without her, but I know we all want to bring her home. I just don't. The way she made me feel is I don't know if it's possible. So we can still try, but I'll try to help as much as I can. There comes a point where I can't get any more on cases. There comes a point where it's just, it becomes kind of, I don't know. It's like they get tired of coming through, or there's just, I just can't get any more information. It's just the way it is. And so I can only do what I can do, and I can try, like I said, to get another reading done, but I'm very, very behind on my cases. I have worked hours and hours on this, so I'll do what I can. I can't make any promises. You know, things happen as they are meant to, and I'm just the one. I am only here to give new insights into the case. I'm not here to solve it. I'm only here to try to help locate her the best that I can by following her readings. So hopefully this is helpful. Hopefully we can try to make sense of it. Like I said, doing the best that I can. So, uh, please, please like and subscribe and follow. And if you can, join the Psychic Sleuth podcast group to keep updated on what we're looking at and all that. Also, I do private readings, so you can contact me at gentlehheartreadings@hotmail.com. I also have a page on Facebook. Uh, that's paid Gentle Heart readings by Rochelle. And then if you want to do case submissions or anything, you can contact us at thepsychicsleuth@gmail.com. So I'll see you guys next time. Thanks a lot.